Good morning. Good morning. There we go. Wait a minute. I'm not even in full screen. What is happening here? What did I just do? Look at me. There I go. I don't know why I can't get back to full screen. That's very, very strange. Well, here I am. Let me move to the center. That's really weird. Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday, the 10th of July. I am live. I don't know why my screen is acting so funky here. I think I might have figured it out. Hold on a minute. Might have figured it out. Yes, there is some type of, this is very odd. Minimize? No. Maximize? I don't know. I don't know why I'm not filling up the whole screen today, but I'm not, and it's okay. Hope everybody's having a great Friday. Glad to see some people jumping on through the summer. You know, it's funny, the webinars, we would get like 20 to 30 people a week until like the end of the school year. So, hey, it's okay. We'll get it back when school starts again. I hope everybody's enjoying vacations or vacations you've been on or getting ready to enjoy a vacation. I know that I'm going to Wilmington later today for a couple of, just for the weekend, dropping the daughter off with Nana for a week and almost a week. And I'll be back in time for next Friday morning's webinar. I'll be picking her up Thursday and back in here. Let's see who's on here this morning. Dee, Bill, Tanya, Sarah. Sarah's finally back. She's been traveling. And Meg. Let's give you guys some love here. All right, awesome. So we're doing something. I mentioned it last week on the call. If anybody's having trouble getting into the members area and joining the kind of Ask Me Anything calls that we're doing, we'll put the link in. You actually have to join the community, which is free. And once you join the community, then you can join our live stream. So every once in a while, I'll go live, and it's very interactive. It's just like a Google Meet or a Zoom where everybody can talk, right? So it's not like this where you have to chat things in. And yeah, so we did that last week, and I know that there was some people that were having struggles getting in, and I suspect it's because they hadn't joined the community first. But typically, our webinars are just like this on StreamYard, which is a platform that we use. So you're watching it on our website or YouTube or Facebook, and that's cool too. So what we're starting today is a series for the next 6 weeks, but I want to start with just a quick question for you. Let me know in the comments. Anybody here answer the same 5 questions every day in your business? Or who writes the follow-up that nobody else remembers to write? Or who's the only one who knows how you actually do that one thing, right? It might just be you. Your business runs through your brain. And for the next 6 weeks, beginning today, we want to start fixing that. And not with marketing, with the boring, repetitive back office stuff that AI is shockingly good at, right? We need policies. We need procedures. If you ever want to grow your business to a point where you can sell it, or just to be able to scale, like if you want to scale to the point you can sell it, or just scale your business for the sake of scaling it so you could make more money, right? You need to have processes, procedures, documentation, policies in place so that there's no ambiguity when something happens. It's the same consistency that you can deliver. Think about it when you go to a really good restaurant, and every time you go back, you order the same exact thing, and it's always consistently tastes exactly like you remembered it. Like, that's because they're following procedures. If I use this recipe this week for some meal, and then next week I slightly change that recipe, it's not going to taste exactly the way you remembered it. So even restaurants, the good ones that you're like, how did they get so consistent? And the ones that are chains that scale, and you're like, every time I get the bang bang shrimp at Bonefish, it's awesome. right? I'll get it every time, right? Because they're using the exact same recipe every single time. It's documented. They're following it, right? That's what we need. But for the last 24, 25, I don't even know what week we're on anymore. It doesn't matter. We started these webinars every Friday in January. And so since January, just about almost every webinar that I've done has been on marketing, ways to use AI for your marketing and sales, right? Whether that's how do we use AI to build our website or update our website? How do we use AI to draft an email, a prospecting email? How to do prospecting? How to use AI for prospecting? How do we create images? How do we create videos, social media content, right? All of that stuff is great, but we need to talk about an area of business that will help you grow faster and get everything out of your brain and documented, so that if you need to get to the point where you hire somebody or you hire multiple people, that you can give them the systems that can help you scale. And AI is great about AI because also AI can be that first hire, that first employee. And imagine how great it would be if you can just have a 24/7, 365 employee, never calls out sick, always perfect, always consistent. And you just had to, let's say that the salary was $300 a month. Tell me in the comments right now, who would sign up for that employee right now? 24/7, it'll do the task you want it to do perfectly well over and over again consistently for $300 a month. Something that you hate doing. Go ahead, let me know in the comments. Go ahead and in the chat and just put me. There we go. Sarah said yes. Meg wants to intern for me. I don't have to pay her anything. Well, that's good. That's actually cheaper than my 24, but you can't intern with me 24/7, 365, huh? All right, here we go. Here we go. Sarah says yes. Dee says yes. Bill says in a New York minute, right? In a New York min. Beautiful, right? That is what we're working on for the next 6 weeks. So the other thing I'll say is you do not need to be, well, let me say this. I would love for you to be here each week for the next 6 weeks. But what I do want to tell you is that nothing I teach you today is a prerequisite for next week, right? So if you miss a week, you go back, you watch the replay. I'm not going to be building on week 1 with week 2 and then building on that. So there's no 101, 201, 301. This is all just different things that you can use. And as a matter of fact, RC is backstage and he has our resource guide for this week, which is 50 different operations that you can use AI for. There's 50 different jobs, tasks, things that you can use AI for. And it'll allow you to either use Claude or Gemini or our platform JourneyBuilder. If you're not familiar with JourneyBuilder, I'll give you a 30-day free trial right now. All you do is scan that QR code that's right up over here, right? Boop, that one. And some of the stuff you can use in there, and we can help you get that started. So go ahead and download that. Thank you, RC. I see it's been posted. Worked really hard, used AI to help me build it. Took me very little time, right? And it's good. So, all right, let's get started with today's workshop. I think there's a couple in this series that I'm going to pre-record, so I won't be live every Friday for the next 6 weeks. We've got a vacation coming up, but I'm gonna have the episode recorded. I've done that 2 other times, and it seems to work out just fine. All right, so by the end of this, we'll show you a system that was able to book over. Oh, it's the other side, Clovis. I'm sorry, on my side. Maybe I'm mirrored. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, so So it's over here. I don't know. I don't even know. There's a QR code. Funny. And there's a 30-day free trial link right there. RC, thank you for saving my butt there and putting that in. So if you guys are interested in getting a trial to JourneyBuilder, you can do that, and we'll work you through. So by the end, I want to show you a system that has booked over 4,000 appointments without a human having to really lift a finger for the whole booking process. And we're going to start way simpler than that. All right. So the first thing I want to do here is I'm going to teach you a little bit of vocabulary. Here's a vocabulary lesson for those who are taking notes. And I know some of you are note takers. You probably have a little notebook in front of you, or a Rocket Book, or a Remarkable, or some type of tablet, writing tablet, or just a piece of paper. All right. Within AI and AI for operations, and even AI for marketing, just using AI, utilizing AI, you have assistants and you have agents. All right. I'm going to go through what they each are. So your assistants, these are Claude, Gemini, ChatGPT, Copilot, Grok, right? Assistants you are the one in the driver's seat and hitting send. It's kind of like an intern, right? And it's free to start. Like, you still have to oversee the work it does, but it's an assistant, right? And we've shown you plenty of ways that we can use it as an assistant over the past 6 months. But that's an assistant. What we want to start talking about are agents. Now, within the world of agents, JourneyBuilder is great. We've got plenty of agents that you can run inside of our JourneyBuilder platform that can do so many tasks. And not only the agents, it also has automations, which are kind of like you overseeing something, and the AI and the assistant runs together. We have assistants in JourneyBuilder too, but other agents that you're going to hear about, if you haven't already, are things like Claude Cowork, right? There's plenty of tools. I believe even Codex has an agent with ChatGPT. Haven't played with it yet. But agents, Google Spark just came out. Google has inside of Gemini is Google Spark. There's agents are things that you can set to do on a timer or on some type of cadence, or when something happens, I want you to run this AI program, like every Monday, develop webinar materials for next Friday, right? And just let it run. Some can take over your computer. I don't run any that take over my computer. But I know a lot of people that do, and what they do is they get a separate special computer. Sometimes it's, for like $10 a month in the cloud. Sometimes it's a separate device that they run, but there are agents. You might hear like OpenClaw, right, is one. And I'm not going to be teaching any of that, but I want you to just be aware. Agents are running tasks on your behalf. Those are the employees, right? We're not going to go that deep into it or complicated with our agents, but I am going to show you some agents inside of the JourneyBuilder platform, just so you know what's possible, right, over the next 6 weeks, not all today, right? But every agent task, so the agent that runs without you, every task that the agent runs started their life as an assistant task that you eventually trusted enough that you gave it to the agent. I'm going to say that again, just so you understand. All the assistant tasks we're doing now, once you trust that, like, yeah, I've done this over and over, it's really good, I've got the prompt, I've got the instructions, I know what the agent should do, now I'm going to turn it over to an agent and let it do that work for me. So everything, really, the assistant is the intern, the agent is the full-time employee that intern turned into, right? Perfect. Good news is, you don't like your intern, fix it, change it. Right? It's still going to work for next to nothing. So when we're talking about using AI for our operations, don't start with the biggest, scariest thing that you do every single day. The biggest, scariest thing that you do every single day, once you start trying to figure out how to automate and make that agentic, you'll get scared. You'll go back to doing things the way you've always done them. And you'll walk away and you'll be like, I don't know if AI can work for me. Don't start there, right? If you ski, like me, I'm a skier. If you ski and you put skis on for the first time and you take the chairlift up, you don't go to the black diamond or double black diamond slope. I had a friend who did that, and he even had skied once before, and he broke his collarbone halfway down the mountain. Don't start there, right? Pick the safest and maybe even the most annoying thing, little thing that you have to do all the time. I'm going to show you some examples here in a minute. And let's start to work on how we can either make it an assistant and then eventually turn it into an agent. So here's 3 questions that I want to ask you. 1, is this task eating up your time? Are you spending way too much time on a simple task? Is it the same every time? Is it repeatable? Can we do it so that we need the exact same thing every time with very little direction? Will it burn you if it's only 90% right? That's a really important question. Right? Will it burn you if it's only 90% right? What about that 10% it's wrong? Can it cause you major trouble? Can it cause you a lawsuit, a lost client? Like what problems can come from that, right? So time suck plus repeatable plus low stakes is your first handoff. Okay. Customer facing solo comes later, but if it's sucking your time up, it can be done repeatably and it's accurate, but it's not very risky. Then you're going to want to do that. So we're going to start with some easy things. Now, some of you who have been on the webinars, sorry, I'm going to take a quick sip. My throat is scratchy. Some of you, this is going to be a little bit of a refresher, but in a new way, right? So what I want to do, I'm going to share my screen. If I can pull open, just going to pull open Claude here and share my screen. Now, some of this might seem like, oh, you could have done that, but I really want to show you, like, when we're talking about documenting processes. Now, I've shown you several ways to document processes. There we go, getting my stuff together, my share screen. There we go. And let's just do the entire screen so you can get very anxious over how many tabs I have open in the window. I'm okay with it. No, I'm just like you, right? We all have too many tabs open in the window. All right, so here's what we're I'm in the wrong project. I didn't want to be in the project. I just want to go to a new chat. All right, so new chat. All right, happy Friday, Jay. Happy Friday to you too, Claude. And let me fix my. So there we go. Okay. Everybody with me? We're all in Claude. Okay. So again, if you've been following along, playing along for the last 6 months, I'm not going to do anything too groundbreaking here, but I do want to show you some actual operational things that you can use Claude as an assistant for and eventually turn that into an agent. Okay. So the first thing I want to go over is maybe there's something. Maybe you don't have our SOP creator, the knowledge extractor, the Cortex app that I showed you a few weeks ago, because we don't sell it yet. We've just been giving it to some people on beta. Or maybe you just, your processes are all scattered in your head and you want to be able to document those processes. And I've got some examples, so we're not going to have to type it all in. But typically documenting a process looks like a business owner maybe brain dumping into a paragraph that nobody will ever read, right? So what we want is we want Claude to interview it into an SOP. This is something that I built in an app called Cortex that I can actually interview business owners over a Google Meet or a Zoom remotely, and it actually turns us into an SOP. But if you don't have that right now, we're going to show, I'm going to show you something that we can do here. And I'm going to copy this. All right. So actually, let's just do this. This will be easier. Copy. All right. So what you can do is you can go to Claude and you could say, interview me one question at a time to turn the messy notes below into a clean step-by-step SOP. Start by asking me your first question. And then what we do is we paste in this slop that I just pasted in, and it was almost like verbal. Now, you can also say, now this is how we handle refunds. Okay, so this is how we handle refunds, not me personally. This is if Tony's Pizza, right? I love using the Tony's Pizza. This is Tony's Pizza, a local business in Greensboro, not really. And you can actually click the microphone and talk into Claude about how you handle refunds and capture all that, and it'll work with this prompt. I've got it as though I already had the transcript. Okay, so this would be a transcript. Like Tony was saying, when I talked to Tony, okay, so refunds. Look, I don't have this written down anywhere. It just kind of basically lives in my head. And honestly, I'm the only one who knows the whole thing. Basically, if someone calls and complains about their pizza within like an hour of like you see, it's just slop. It's just like, it's not slop. It's actual good information. But it was how Tony talks. It's verbal. It's just kind of, like they call it like oral diarrhea, right? He just chatted. It gets down to here and invoicing on QuickBooks and if the driver dropped the pizza or left it somewhere weird, blah, 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 what happens, right? So now what we're going to do is I'm going to just send this to Claude, my assistant, right? Refund policies, if you have a product or even service business where you have products, like I would consider pizza and pizza delivery both a product and a service business, right? So if your local business has that, or even just products, you're going to have a return policy. If it's not documented anywhere, it would be a good idea to get it documented. And there's no better way to do it than Claude or Gemini or even ChatGPT for that matter, to just tell it your process. It's in your head. Get it out of your head. And if you need help with interviewing, let's talk. I can interview you to get things out of your head. So what it's going to do is it's going to, I actually shouldn't have used Opus 4.8 either. Make sure you're paying attention to your models in Claude. But here we go. Okay. So now, first one, when a complaint first comes in, before anyone's decided refund versus credit versus remake versus call Tony, what does the person taking that call capture every single time, no matter how it ends up? I'm thinking things like order number, customer name, and phone, whether it's pickup, delivery by DoorDash, delivery or pickup time, and what exactly went wrong. What's your actual must-have list so no complaint gets half-log baked? Okay. So it's probably overthinking this. All right. Must have list. I'm going to click the microphone here. We need all of that information. It's really important that we have all the customer details for the person who's taking that call. Did you guys know you can do that in Claude, by the way? Hold the microphone and just talk to it. You have to hold it down on here, but you can, and then you can also have a chat, an audio chat with Claude. I don't know if anybody knew that. So, all right, capture up front every time, no matter where. Nail down specifics so nobody's guessing. Can you give me an exact checklist of fields you want written down for every complaint? No, that's the right list. No, this is good. Right here. Oops. No, that's great. Let's just start with this. Okay. D loves Claude. You're talking to Claude all the time. I love talking to Claude. All right. Now I'm just gonna pick one here because I want to keep it moving. I don't want to pretend I'm Tony for too long. So when someone calls, what specific things trip that this is a Tony call, stop everything? You mentioned someone got sick, found something in their food. Yeah, any food quality issues, safety, property damage. You know what made me think of property damage? Is anyone else here a fan of the movie Home Alone? Talking about pizza delivery. Everybody knows if you've seen Home Alone, like when the guy pulls in and knocks the statue over and is picking it up, and the pizza delivery boy, if you're not, yeah, property damage, right? If you've seen Home Alone as many times as I have, you knew exactly where I was going with that. So, okay. I'm just going to say, yeah, text and then call. All right, I don't want to spend too much time. Let's just, okay. So you can see how Claude is actually analyzing everything you're saying, and it's actually going, it's not really reruns. I mean, I know it's reruns in this case, but we wanted it to ask all the questions so that we could get the actual documentation. I'm just going to stop the reruns. Reruns will happen if you have it ask you for the qualifying questions, like not qualifying, clarity questions. If you want it to make sure it understands everything before doing the document. I do hate going back and forth on the conversation, but sometimes it's really critical. Now, when you have a lot of data, like let's say Claude, this is just a little sidebar. I'm going to go back to this. I'm just going to make the checklist, make the policy. Oh, the reference. Oh, I hate reruns. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. I wasn't even thinking. I was talking about Home Alone. Oh my gosh. That was funny. Let's just make the SOP with what we have. I could have said it too, but I was already typing. And I was looking at this screen, typing on this screen. Okay. So clarifying questions are necessary. I thought where Clovis was going with that was when Claude gives you like a big document, like an artifact, right? It gives you like this thing that you can click on and it opens up in a side tab. Once you have something that big, you really want to add that to the project. And when your conversation gets long, it's going back and reading through the whole conversation. Sometimes it's better to start a new conversation, add that artifact document that Claude created to the new conversation or new chat, or have it added to a project if you make it a project, and then start your conversation. That helps you save tokens if you're on a free plan. All right. All right. And now this is how we document an SOP if you don't have fancy software that can do it. I love the language too. Claude keeps saying it's crystallizing the document. It's a good time for me to take a sip. I should have just changed the model, but because now it's going to build an actual document. All right. What's great about this is it becomes your training guide. And then if you use Notebook LM, right? And if you haven't been on too many webinars, don't know what I'm talking about with Notebook LM. If you're building your company brain, your brain in a box in Notebook LM, this SOP goes right into your operations notebook, right? And here it is. Refund and complaint resolution SOP. No matter what, follow these steps. There's an if else. If it's not safety, quality, damage, continue to step 3. Then you have step 4. So you could just give this, and I would argue this isn't even done because I stopped, right? I just said go ahead and give it here. But you could just give this to a new employee and say, if somebody's calling in asking for a refund, right? Let's make sure you follow this process, right? It's accountability. It allows you to get out of it and give that to somebody else. If Tony had to answer every call that came in, how's Tony making pizza? How's Tony doing payroll? How's Tony getting stuff off the truck, refrigeration, helping customers? Tony can't do it all. Tony needs employees. Tony also doesn't want each employee coming to him every time somebody's requesting a refund, asking, what do I do? Right? And then what happens if you don't have this, right, is then an employee comes in, they ask Tony 2 or 3 times, Tony teaches them, they get it, okay, 2 or 3 times, I've done it, I know how to do it now, and they'll make up their own system based on what they've heard and what they've done, right? And now they're not documenting it. So now Tony's got this person trained on how to do refunds. It was never documented, and this person leaves next Friday. They just suddenly quit. Now what happens? Somebody else has to learn this. They're going to Tony 2 or 3 times instead of just giving them the document. Do you see how much time that can save as the company grows? You should have all these things documented. Most of us have it in our head, right? I love that it did this. And what I was talking about before, you can actually publish this as an artifact right inside of Claude, and then you can use your artifacts. They become editable inside of your projects. You can add it into a project. So you can actually build your entire SOP system in a project and call it your business, right? Or use Notebook LM. See, I would actually download this as a markdown MD. If you ever see MD, that's what AI reads really, really well. Download it as an MD or in Google Drive. Actually, probably just Google Drive would be even better. And then you can connect it to Notebook LM in your operations notebook. And now you have you can do so much more with that. I'm not going to go into that today, but all right. So that's one thing that we can do. And I think that solves a couple of different, items. Let me see where it was. Yeah. Tasks 21 and 26, I think, from that list of 50 that you could download. All right. So the next thing that I want to do is I want to talk about a really bad review. Let's say you get that really bad review. And I know that everybody that's on this call never gets a bad review. They're always perfect. They're always 5 stars. No, I mean, nobody's ever messed up. We're all perfect. Oh, sorry. Thought I was talking about Jesus for a second. Okay. So here is a fake 1-star complaint. Okay. And this is, let's just say this is the email that landed in your inbox on a Sunday afternoon. All right. We know this feeling. I bet you know this feeling. You get, it comes in on Sunday afternoon. I do this often, not for 1-star complaints, but sometimes for clients who didn't, for clients who have a support request, right? You all know this feeling. You don't really want to open it. It's Sunday afternoon. All right. So what you can do is you don't want to stop what you're doing, do the work on this, but you're like, it's going to eat you up if you don't try to rectify it right away. Does anybody know that feeling? I get it in my business. I get that anxious, like, gosh, I know they should expect to wait until tomorrow morning. My team makes fun of me all the time. Heather right now is probably like wanting to smack me, but like, you know that their expectation should be it's Sunday afternoon. I shouldn't reply. My family would say you don't need to reply, but you know, as a business owner that takes pride and care and loves what they do, you're like, this doesn't look good. I feel like I need to open the can of worms on Sunday afternoon. Can you tense? Like you feel the tenseness even in me just thinking about this? Okay. So what we're going to do is we're not going to actually necessarily respond right now. But if we have that compulsion that we've got to do something, or even if we can just get by until Monday morning, then we can just have Claude give us the draft. And this review is going to be meaty, guys. This is going to be really, really meaty. So I'm going to get this. Actually, let's do this. Let's do this. There we go. Here we go. Here we go. Copy. All right. So here's what we're going to do. And you could say to Claude, this just came in from an angry customer. Write me 2 response options, one softer, one firmer. Acknowledge each specific issue, apologize where warranted, offer a fix, and try to save the customer. Small business voice, not corporate. Now, if you have your company brand tone, styles, brand guidelines, your brand voice documented, I would put this, and let's say it's in Notebook LM or Gemini, or maybe it's in a project here in Claude. I would put this in that project, right? Or add your brand voice to this, or have it added to that project. I would do this where your brand voice is. Right now, I'm just saying small business voice, not corporate. You can get a lot better and more specific if you have brand voice. They may actually think this might be from JourneyBuilder when I put it in, just because of my overall settings, but that's okay. So what we want to do is we also, I already said we got the 2 response offers. So now here's the email that I'm going to paste in. All right. And like, this is bad. If the subject line that you got on Sunday afternoon was disgusted with my order last night, read this before I go public. I don't think I know a business owner in here who wouldn't be like, I've got to take care of this now, immediately. I know I would. Right. So it's really, it's all about their experience with Tony's Pizza, one chance to make it right before I go to Yelp, Google reviews, BBB, and every mom in town on the Facebook group, right? Like this is bad. Chaos, right? All right. And it literally, look how many paragraphs. And then she signed it, absolutely disgusted, Jennifer M. I would be, guys, I'll be honest with you. I would be so grateful for Jennifer M, this fake customer, to actually send me an email before going and blasting me everywhere. Like that to me shows that she's a person who does have grace, right? Or is willing to show you some grace. Okay. So, nasty, nasty email, right? I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to change the model here. I don't really need 4.8. So let's just go to Sonnet 5. And we'll go, we'll give it a little more effort though. We'll give it a high effort. Okay. Sometimes changing the model in Claude is actually a good thing. Like I don't need a document created or an artifact created or code to be generated, right? So the fables and the Opus 4.8s, you don't need them for a lot of these types of things, right? But if you have these policies and procedures, you have your brand voice, and you have like how to handle refunds and then how to handle customer complaints, right? Here we go. Let's have it generate 2 responses. All right. And again, not marketing. This is operations. These are things you have to do, and these are assistants. Then we're going to go into agents next, and we'll spend the rest of the time starting with agents. Every week, we're going to do more of these. We're going to cover more of these operational actual exercises and demos. All right. Okay. So I like how Claude does this too, because we asked it for the 2 choices and it did it in the same box. It didn't just kind of go. So you have a softer and heartfelt message and then a firmer business like message. Then you get to pick and choose. Okay. So let's look at the softer heartfelt. I am more of a softie. I'm more of a heartfelt message person. So I would like to just read it, but at least I didn't have to take time to write it. I can edit it, right? Nothing here is going directly to Jennifer, right? So, but I might like the business-like one. So you always want to kind of have those 2 tones. But if in your brand voice and your tone and your messaging style was more of a softer, heartfelt style, you might just say, just write the message. You know, if you've trained your AI, just write me a response. If you've said that you are more firm, business-like, very professional, then, you know, but even though you are a softie, you might want both, because in some cases you might want to be a little more firm, especially if you really don't think that it's as bad, or if the customer might be just, sometimes we have those customers that are like, you're like, really? Are you kidding me? Like, so you kind of want both. Sometimes you got to stand your ground. Sometimes you can be soft. So I read your email twice. Honestly, I'm embarrassed. You trusted us with your daughter's 8th birthday party, and we let your whole family down. I'm so sorry to you, and especially to Emma. Right there is a perfect opening line, guys. Customer service 101. If you knew that you had this person that was this angry, that's perfect. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but it's really good. Let's just look at what the AI did. Let me go through everything, because you deserve to know how we actually heard it, right? And it goes through each of the things. Here's what I want to do. I'm refunding you the money right now. No chargeback needed. I'd also love to send Emma's family a fresh birthday redo, 3 pizzas, the wings you never got, a full 2-liter on the house whenever you're up to giving us another shot. No pressure. Okay. You also asked for a written apology from the person who hung up on you and to know what's happening with the driver. That's fair. And I'm handling both personally, not passing it off. And, that's really good. Okay. And then firmer. Thanks for laying it out in detail. Made it easy to see exactly where we failed, and there's no excuse for it. Here's where we stand. Boom, 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 boom. Very simple, shorter, less maybe empathy, more just the facts, ma'am, right? And then, again, action taken, refunded all the money. I'd also like to send the link. So it's a little bit shorter, more to the point, right? If you guys know me, I'm never short and to the point. So I would be totally taking the softer, heartfelt approach here. But this is, and then it just gives you why, why each one is what it is. But yeah, it's really just either a little more descriptive, maybe showing more empathy and care, versus like, hey, we're on it, taking care of it. This is what we're doing. Hopefully we can wash our hands of this, send you out the replacement stuff and move on. Right. So that's just another way that you can use an assistant for these things. All right. So the next thing we want to do. Oh, I have one more example. Anybody ever work with contracts? Like, do you work with vendors or suppliers or property arrangements, leases? I mean, if you ever work with contracts, I've got a vendor contract that I want to do. But I don't know if you have a stack of vendor contracts on your desk, or maybe you just get one every couple of months, or maybe you only get one every couple of years. Contracts are a big deal. Now, is Claude a lawyer? No. Claude did not pass the bar. Claude cannot give legal advice. Claude is not ever going to do anything. Do not ever go to court with Claude as your representative. Okay, just putting it out there. Claude is not a lawyer. However, though, if you have a contract and you've wanted to read, you can actually upload the PDF to Claude. And then let me go to a new chat. I should have clicked the plus sign. Okay, and what we can do is we're going to copy this. So we're going to, oh, there we go. Summarize. That's what I wanted right from there. Summarize this in plain English. Then give me every key date, dollar threshold, and notice deadline I need to watch in a table. Then flag anything that could bite me later. Okay. So you're really, I'm going to put in a full B2B master supply agreement. The parties, the term, the pricing, delivery, quality, payment, insurance, confidentiality, indemnification, force majeure, termination notices. It's all in this contract. Okay. And I'm going to upload it. I think I am anyway. Here we go. Did I download it? I think I might have already downloaded, saved it. I hope so. All right. So we're going to add a file. I think I put it in my downloads folder. Yep. Sample vendor contract. All right. Now, upload your PDF to Claude. All right. It's a full contract. I can tell you that this contract is 6 pages long. Okay. Now, some businesses have 70-page contracts, right? This one's only 6. And I'm going to go ahead. Still going to use, actually, I'm going to use not Opus 4.8, but I'm going to go to 4.7 and just the high effort. Because I want it in a table. And I know Sonnet can do a table. I like Opus for things that have to be somewhat visual or very organized representatively. Does that make sense? I like using Opus. If I were going to do Claude code or program something, I would use Opus or the new one, Fable, which I don't know if everybody has Fable. But I would use Opus if I really needed something visual to come out of it or something very interactive to come out. In this case, I'm just summarizing something in plain English, so you don't really need that type of high model. But I do want it in a table format. So I could, in theory, use Sonnet 5 or Haiku, and it'll probably come out just fine. But I'm going to use 4.7. If you guys are watching this and you're not using Claude, maybe you're using ChatGPT, everything that I'm doing here can also be done in ChatGPT. This is not a switch from ChatGPT to Claude webinar. I have to, if I'm going to teach, I have to teach what I'm typically working in and what I use every day. I don't think I've been in ChatGPT in close to a month. I just don't use it. And actually, last time I used it was when they came out with their image creation tool, and I tried it one time. But again, ChatGPT's newest models are great. It's the AI arms race right now. Which is better? Claude, ChatGPT, Grok, all this doesn't really matter. Use what you've been using. Use what you paid for, and you'll be just fine. All right. Let me see. Any questions? No questions have come in. If you guys have any questions, we'll remind you there. You can feel free to ask a question. All right. So here's our response. Plain English summary. You, Tony's Pizza, are locking in Northland Dairy as your main cheese supplier for 2 years, starting January 1st, 20, running through December 31st. After that, auto renews every year unless somebody gives 90 days. See what it's doing? It's putting in all the things we asked it. We want dollar amounts. We want dates. We want, deadlines, thresholds. We want all of it, right? You're also agreeing that at least 80% of your cheese has to come from them. You can only shop around for the other 20% or when they can't fulfill an order. Here's your key dates, dollars, and deadlines table. What could bite you? Exclusivity clause. You locked yourself into buying 80%. If anyone here has ever locked themselves into something by a clause, and you want to start a support group or therapy group about it, send me a private message. I will be glad to talk to you about 2 contracts that I've done that Claude would have really helped me had I been using it. And I'm happy to talk about those. I mean, gosh, guys, lawyers are slick. Again, this isn't a lawyer, but we're just pulling out information that we've specifically asked it for. So we're not trying to get advice. We're just saying what could bite you, because that would be what I would do is now, instead of sending the whole contract and having an attorney read the entire 6-page contract, which 6 pages, all right, fine. But at like $300 an hour or whatever lawyers are charging these days, like to read the 6 pages versus you just saying, hey, this summary, this is a summary of the contract. It's a lot shorter than 6 pages. Again, here, not legal advice, worth having an attorney who handles supply agreements. Look at the blah, 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 blah. Okay. So it even gives you the little disclaimer there. But can you look at these? These are things that are in there. Is any of this, should I be concerned, or should I suggest we change the language on some of this? Right. Then maybe that, that 6-page goes to like a 1-page, and then you pay a fraction of the price. Now, if he says it's going to take an hour regardless, I'd just give him this and the contract and just say, all right, I'll pay for the hour. But sometimes if you had a 70-page contract, I mean, you could knock down some attorney bills here, right? Every contract you do, I would run it through AI, but be careful. Be careful again. Make sure that, let's say you're using Claude, that you have marked in your settings that you don't want Claude to be able to use this data for training. If you're in Notebook LM, that's probably the safest place to do it because it's locked into your workspace. I would only do contracts, like review contracts, in Notebook LM under my Google Workspace account. You want to make sure that that stuff stays private. All right. Anyway, good. It broke it down. Really good. You could read through it and it would tell you. All right. So I don't want to spend much more time in there. You can also do the same thing in Gemini. I'm not going to do it on today's call, but you could do it in Gemini. Also, let's say here's some other things you can do. If is anybody using Gemini as well? Anybody on Google Workspace? I know I ask it often, but go ahead and drop it in the comments. Actually, let me stop sharing for a quick second. Anybody using Gemini? Just give me a yes in the comments or a thumbs up if you use, or Google Workspace for that matter. You're on a paid Google Workspace. Yep, Google Workspace. Good. Yeah, if you're on Google Workspace, Google has put a lot of really neat agentic and workflow type of data in there. So one of the things that you can do is if you go into your Gmail, you now have a little Gemini icon. I was going to see if I could share that again. Greg said yes, D. Good. Okay. So let me see. I think I can share. I can share this screen for a quick second. I want to show you in any of the Google products in Workspace. So Gmail, Docs, Sheets, Slides, Videos, for vids, any of the Google products, you now have a Gemini icon, and AI can do certain things. One of the things it can do, share, I lost my, I know what I just did. Okay, hold on a second, guys. Good, Google Workspace also. A lot of you are using Google. Okay, perfect. So I was going to share a tab real quick. Up here inside your Google and my Gmail, I'm in the chats section. I don't want to expose my email stuff. But inside your Gmail account, right up near the top right corner, you'll see that Ask Gemini icon. There's also some new stuff like Studio, and I think it's no, I guess it's just Studio and Gemini. Studio is really cool. We've talked about that in previous weeks, where you can start having things come in like right here. You'll see Get AI News Briefs Daily. Right, this is something that comes into me every day where I want to know the latest things happening. And actually, one of the things that I'm looking into when we get off this call, well, first I'm talking to Heather about something, but when we get off this call, I noticed that Anthropic launches global workspace for Claude. I want to read more about that because Claude has not been good for teams, right? And I want to see if they're changing the way they look at teams and collaboration. So it seems like they might. And anyway, so I'm going to use that. But that's something that runs on autopilot every morning. And I've given it a prompt. And an agent goes out every morning. This is where I'm talking about agents versus assistants. I set up an agent using the studio. And now every day it goes out and gets me this news, and I can have it do other things that I want. I can have it give it to me in a summary, send it as an email. I could do different types of things. Add it to Google Notebook, right? To Notebook LM. There's a ton of things that we can do, but it does it for me. So that's an AI agent. I need the news. I need to stay on top of my game. This does it for me. I don't have to go out and search Google or search around to get it. Just boom, told it what I want, and there it goes. But ask Gemini. So let's just say you're in your Gmail and you have a really long thread. Anybody, reply all. You're in this email thread with 5 people, and now you've got 77 emails in this thread, all from different people. And you're like, just catch me up. You can say, summarize this email thread. And that's it. Summarize this email thread. Tell me what was said or who was responsible for X, Y, and Z. And it will just go through and do it without you having to go back and reading through that entire chain of emails. So that's something Gemini can do now. Another thing that Gemini can do, it can do pretty much the same thing in Docs and Sheets. Let's say you have Google Sheets, and I'm looking for everybody again. I think I lost everybody. Yeah, let's say you use Gemini Sheets, kind of like Excel, right? It's Google's version answer to Excel in Microsoft. And maybe you want to paste a month of transactions or a simple profit and loss report. Like you got a P&L, copy and paste it into Google, and then say something like, summarize these numbers like you're explaining them to the owner and tell me anything that looks off. That right there, that prompt can help you knock off 4 tasks on the document that Ryan sent out. That RC sent out in the beginning. RC, if you can put today's resource back in. I don't know if anybody's come in since the start and they didn't see it. But if I'll put the prompt in there too, this will take care of 4 different tasks that are on that operations list when it comes to money. Yeah, it all works together. Okay. Here's a prompt you could give in Google Sheets in the Gemini Assistant. Summarize the numbers like you're explaining to the owner. Sometimes I tell it, summarize these like you're explaining to the owner who has the mental capacity to understand accounting as a 10-year-old. Like, explain it to me like I'm a 5th grader, right? Like, and it'll break it down. Okay. And there's the resource again. If you missed it at the beginning, that's today's resource. There are 50 different tasks, operational tasks. We're going to cover a lot of them in the next 6 weeks, but that document, and we'll probably send it out each week. We'll have new resources each week, but I might add this one too, but it's a good download that we built for you. So that prompt right there covers 4 of the tasks, all about accounting and money. All right. Next. What else? I think we're close to done. I did want to show you one more thing in JourneyBuilder about a call. Let me go grab that one. I believe is, what did I do with it now? I lost my notes. There they are. Found my notes. Okay. If you're using Docs, Gemini and Docs, right? Take one line, closing checklist for a pizza shop, generate a printable shift checklist, and then you could same thing at Claude. If you had that closing checklist that Claude gave us before for Tony's Pizza, you could take it and just turn it into a checklist inside of a Google Doc, right? Literally a checklist, right? So you take that from Claude, paste it into into a Google Doc, a new Google Doc, and then tell Gemini to turn it into a closing checklist, and it will generate a printable shift checklist. All right. But pick the one where you actually work. Pick the one. And actually, Claude can do the checklist as well. If you're using a model like Opus, it can do it. All right. Last one that I want to do for today. This is AI that's already working. I promised you I'd show you a system that gets, it's gotten over 4,000 appointments for a chain of mattress stores. I want to kind of show you what that looks like in real time. I have to be sensitive about customer data. I might just do the voice version. We've been doing this through chat, through Facebook messages that can book appointments. I'm going to show you an agent that can book based on a phone call, only because I can show you a real chat log from a client, but I didn't go through and like scrub out the customer name, the client name, and all that stuff. And I just don't want to have that. It's on YouTube. We're live. So give me some grace there. I can always show you the chat system. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually do a phone call. And let's do this. I want somebody. I'm hoping this will work, guys, but it'll be really fun if it does. Okay. I want to see what happens because I think on the web call, it doesn't work the way I always want it to. But I want to see D. I know you can't come off mute. You're going to have to do this through chat, but I want everybody just to, I'm going to play one. I'm going to play a web call, but then I want, because the web call won't transfer the call to me. And I'm going to have D actually call the number at the end and ask to transfer me, but I don't want everybody doing that. At the same time, I'll probably get calls of people asking to transfer Jay after they see this video. I don't want to really do that. And thanks, Sarah. All right. So I'm going to go share screen. This will be the last one we do. The number. Yeah, D, I'm going to give it to you. I'll just say it to you. Don't call it yet, but when I give you the cue, the number is going to be 336 203 2992. Don't do it yet, but 336 203 2992. Okay. Let me go into Sarah here. It's a different Sarah. Sarah Lackey was leaving the webinar, and I'm talking to Sarah. Okay. Actually, I probably could do it without you having to call it, just so everybody can hear it. All right, share audio. All right, what I'm showing you guys right now, all right, is our voice chatbot. Now, I'm in the JourneyBuilder platform. There are AI platforms that can do AI voice, AI chat. If you can find one cheaper or better, for all intents and purposes, do that. But if you want a phone system or a chat system that can use AI very effectively, and you're not quite sure at first, I would say let's start with a 30-day trial of JourneyBuilder. I can go through it with you. We can help you. We can't really set it up for you, but we can help you set it. Get started in the right direction, and then we can talk about what that looks like after you've gotten used to it. I showed the website builder months ago, and everybody signed up for the trial because they're like, oh my gosh, you've made website building that easy, right? So now I've put myself out of a job, but luckily I get subscriptions off of that. So, all right, I'm going to try to do this. Let me see if I can do a phone call from this number. Oh, no, that's not going to work. That's not going to work. I'm going to do the web call. All right. So this is an agent that I've named Sarah. Sarah is my assistant. It's an AI assistant. I don't lead with that, but if a caller visitor asks if it's an AI, we honestly say, yes, Sarah is an AI assistant, then keep helping. Right. So I've got a whole bunch of instructions and rules. I've got a knowledge base. I also have a connected knowledge base, which is a JourneyBuilder knowledge base. And you should be able to hear all the audio that comes from this. Let's let me know if you can't hear the audio when the call starts. Just type it in the chat. I'll keep an eye on it, but I'm gonna be talking with Sarah. Okay, let's try this.
Hey, thanks for calling JVI Mobile Marketing. I'm Sarah, Jay, the AI guy's assistant. How can I help you today?
Hey, Sarah, hang on one second. I'm actually doing something. I wanna talk to you about JVI Mobile Marketing, but I'm waiting. Yeah, thank you. I'm waiting for some people to tell me if they can hear the audio. Heather, let me know if the audio is coming through. Okay, perfect. Yes. Okay. Oh, sorry. Thanks for the ums. I actually instructed you to say All right. So where are you located?
We're based in Greensboro, North Carolina. We work with clients locally and nationwide.
Oh, very cool. Because I'm in California, and I wanted to potentially I want to have somebody that can work remote. How do you do client meetings and things like that?
Totally doable. Most client meetings are virtual, on Zoom or phone, and we collaborate via email and shared docs. We also have weekly live workshops and can set recurring check-ins. If you'd like, I can set up a quick free coaching call to map out what you need.
Before we do that, can you tell me about these weekly live workshops? What are they focused on?
Sure thing. Every Friday at 10:30 a.m. Eastern, Jay runs a free live AI workshop. Each week spotlights a practical tool or strategy. Think Notebook LM Company Brains, AI video, website building from a prompt, automation, booking bots, and more. It's demo heavy, no fluff, and you can ask questions live. Replays go to everyone who registers. You can always grab the current week's sign up here. jthiaguy.com/learn/webinars.
Awesome. Look, I want to be transferred to Jay. Is there a way that you can transfer this call over to him? I need to talk to him. It's very, very urgent.
Hang on. Let me see if I can put you through to Jay really quick. If he doesn't answer, please leave him a message. He sometimes won't call back without a message.
Okay.
I couldn't get the transfer to go through just now. Want me to have Jay call you back right away? If so, what's the best number and a quick note on the urgency so I can flag it high priority?
Cool, we're good. Okay. So you guys, look, is it AI? 100%. But was the quality good? 100%. And if the quality was not necessarily 100%, it was 90%. Like that call, Sarah, the AI assistant for me, she's answering the calls that come into my company. And I think it's so much better than it's slightly robotic, but it's very conversational. She was saying, okay. So like we've given her a lot of instruction, and the tone, the speed, everything was good. Now, the one thing that never seems to work from the web call is the transfer to me. So D, if you don't mind, and I know nobody can hear you, what I want you to do is call that number, and when Sarah answers, immediately I want to say, I need to be transferred to Jay right away. And let's just see if it will transfer, and let me know, or I'll hold my phone up when the number starts ringing. I think it can do it through the phone, but I want you to try it. And if you need that number again, I'll tell you again. Okay, perfect. Dee's calling now. She'll tell it to transfer to me. We'll make sure that it'll work, because she can transfer. But I'm transferring it to a Google Voice number, so I might need to change that. And while she's doing that, and while I'm waiting for my phone to buzz because she's having a conversation, I will say next week is week 2. Okay, she's asked to speak to Jay. Oh, look at that. There it is. My phone is ringing. All from JourneyBuilder, where it's coming from. And if I answer this right now, excellent. Is this D?
It is.
Oh, wait, let me, I don't have you on speaker. Say that again. Is this D?
It is. This is D.
Very good. I hope you guys can hear that. Okay, D, I'm going to hang up. Perfect. So there you go. So sorry, D, I just hung up on you. But so you can have an AI agent that knows so much about your company, right? Everything that you're working on, knowledge base, very easy to set up, plain English. You can even have Claude create the knowledge base information, have it ask you all the questions, or feed all of your notebook LM stuff that you would want to go into this, and boom, have it answer every call that comes into your business line. Or have it only answer calls after 5 p.m. and before 8 a.m., right? Or have it only answer calls if the line is busy, but do not let a call go unanswered in your business. You know what happens when a call goes unanswered in your business? They find the next company and they call them. You know how I know? Because my AC went out last Friday. And while I was on the webinar, I got texted from my wife. And you know what? I called 3 AC places. You know who I gave the business to? The first one that answered. Do you know what I ended up paying because of that? Triple. But that's okay. I got the AC fixed that day, right? So I can't wait. You know, something like that happens. I can't just sit and wait for somebody to call me back, right? So very cool. So that is an example of an AI agent. So we talked about assistants. We talked about agents. We're going to continue to go down this path over the next 5 weeks. And make sure the other thing that can happen is if you miss a call, we do have the ability to put in a missed call text back. So that person that called will immediately get a text saying, sorry, we missed your call. You know, hey, can you just text me a message, or do you want me to call you back? Right. So that's something you could do. Or sorry, we missed you. How can we help? And that's like right in the moment. Even if an AC company said, hey, sorry, Mr. Call is on the line. How can I help? I would have wrote back or, and said, hey, can somebody call me? My AC's out. But nobody had that, it can also record the calls, or it is recording calls, can give you a transcript. You can be alerted when somebody calls, right? So this is the thing. Demos 1 and 2, I was in the seat hitting the send button, right? I was using it as an assistant. It was my intern. They asked me what to do. We created documents for them. They asked me what to do. We copied and pasted, and the assistant went to work. But this phone system that D just called, that's been working the whole time without me until D asked to transfer it to me. And that's really the only major difference between an assistant and an agent. And this is the graduation, right? As we talked about earlier. Assistants, you're still doing oversight, but you still have to do something, but you're going to get things done a lot faster. Agents are there, ready to go, working when you need them. All right. Does that make sense, everybody? I hope it does. And if you have any questions, go ahead and drop it off. But I would like this. I would like in the chat right now, for the few people that are still hanging around. I know a lot of people always leave at the bottom of the hour, but I can never do these in just 60 minutes. I would love in the chat if you put maybe one assistant task that you'll try this week in your choice of AI chat tool, right? So either Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini. Tell me something that you'll try this week. And then what is an agent task that you would love running on its own someday? Right. So what would you remember? You want those agent tasks. I like the phone answering tool. That's a great agent that you would like someday. Perfect, D. That's awesome. Remember what we talked about, the assistant. Is it eating your time? Is it the same every time? Will it burn you if it's only 90% right? Because that's an agent task. Right? That's something you want an agent to be doing. Something that'll save you time. It's repeatable. It's recurring. It'll just take care of it. And then even if it's 90% right, won't be the end of the world. All right. D's the only one that answered. You guys should have a chat box. Go ahead and type it in. I'd love to see what's an assistant and what's an agent. Well, what's an assistant you'll try this week and an agent that you would like someday. Possibly phone answer and add scheduling. So the scheduling is there as well. And that can be done through voice or chat. The scheduling, it would have, had we asked it, hey, I want to book a 15-minute coaching call with Jay, it would have looked at my calendar, found some available slots, offered those slots. If you took the slots, it would book you on the slot, send you the confirmation and reminder messages from our automations, and alert me I have a new appointment on my calendar, right? So very cool. Hard to come up with one off the cuff. All right, Tanya, fair enough. Fair enough. I'll let you guys off the hook. But think about it. Think about it over the weekend, right? What are some things that you could do, and go through that document. Maybe on the list of 50 that we gave you, I hope everybody downloaded that. On that list of 50 tasks, just read through them and be like, oh my gosh, that would be amazing. Oh man, that would be amazing. And if the task is agentic, meaning JourneyBuilder, there's other platforms, but JourneyBuilder, let's talk, right? Tanya's working on scheduling automation now through her CRM. All right. Love to talk to you about that. Right. Be no problem. I mean, if you're using a different CRM tool, great. If you're using a tool like JourneyBuilder or something that's based on the Go High Level platform, and you're looking for custom solutions or custom help, there's about 8 million businesses using the platform that JourneyBuilder is built on. And I'm an expert in it. So if you, and my team is more experts in it, let me know. Happy to book a 15-minute coaching call with me. RC is going to drop that link in just a minute. Sorry to throw him off the cuff. There, that's next week's webinar link. Next week's webinar link is live and published right there. If you guys want to register for next week, week 2 of the operations, it is there. Go for it. And then RC is then putting in, look at that, 15-minute. Man, you are on it today, buddy. There's a 15-minute free coaching call with me. If you want to talk about agents, if you want to talk about how this ties in with your CRM, I can't help you with other CRMs, but if you want to talk about that, I'd be happy to look at it. Full of meat, not going to try to sell you JourneyBuilder. If you want to talk about Claude or ChatGPT or how we do this or how we solve tasks, book a 15-minute call. I'll jump on, and the first thing I'll say is, well, hello. How are you? And small talk, but small talk will be 30 seconds. And I'll be like, all right, you booked a call with me. How can I help you as best I can in 15 minutes? Right. That is how those calls go. It is all about you. If you ask me to tell you more about JourneyBuilder, that call might take a little longer, but at that point, it's worth it to me, right? It's worth it to everybody. But yeah, it would be, I'd be happy to help somebody the best I can in 15-minute increments. With that being said, I think we're pretty much done. I'll answer a couple quick. Is my data safe? Yes, but you need to make sure that you don't paste anything that you wouldn't email. So make sure that on Claude or ChatGPT or anything that there's settings to keep your info to not train the models on the data that you're giving it. If you wouldn't email it, don't paste it into a chat. No passwords, no API keys, no usernames, no any type of login information, never credit card information. Do not do it. Don't do it. If you wouldn't email it, there we go. And Tanya, thank you so much. Start with Claude or Gemini or ChatGPT, whatever you have your stuff in already. Voice agent cost, subscription plus usage. It's really about call volume there. And you heard the call. If it sounds like a robot, I don't think it sounds like too robotic, but you judge for yourself. And then it transferred the call when somebody asked to a human. So, all right, guys, we will be back next week. Thank you so much for joining us today. I don't recall what week we're on, but it doesn't really matter. We're here every Friday, and we will talk to you again next Friday. Take care, everybody. Have a great weekend.